65.50 Bitcoin, that's pretty well the high here after last night's nice little quick correction. Got everybody short, I believe. I threw up some roadmaps in Discord, so I presume people will have some questions there, so I kind of just wanted to come on here. There's a new high Bitcoin, 65.70, 65.80. So zoom that up and look from last night's low. There's the rally from last night. We had stops down here at 58.20. I think was level 57.15. I don't know if this is an ABC up. It looks a little bit of a triangle right in through here, which would fit into one of the accounts I just gave. That possibly could be A up, B triangle. Now we're doing a C up. That would fit into again, that could fit into a triangle. That could be a C wave of a triangle. Hold on. I did these from downstairs. Not sure I have the one. If it loaded correctly up here. Because I think, let me grab this here real quick. This could be 1, 2, 3. That might be a little bit of a stretch, which means this was an ABC down, ABC up, ABC down. That could have been a flat that we're so bullish that you could maybe put the 4 over here. It does overlap the 1 a little bit, so then it'd be more of a diagonal, but that would get us to new highs here, which I think will happen if stocks continue the rally they had going into the close. But I think maybe that rally is getting a little bit long in the tooth as well. So gonna wait for that. So if nothing else, maybe we're still doing a little triangle here. Putting in the top of it right now as we speak. I think that's a possibility. Otherwise, other choices, I did throw this up. Again, the 4 did overlap this 1 over here, which you do not want. I mean, this is crypto, so some of the rules I maybe bend a hair. This Elliott wave count here would go better with our Wyckoff technometer. Here's Bitcoin USD. You can see down here we put in a 35.50 or so at the low last night. 38 is normally considered oversold. 35.50 extremely oversold. I agree, 3 Mile. These are historical lower values, so that's why I just lightened up a little bit on trading bags. We're still sitting here at 37, even after today's $650 rally. That's encouraging. You can see here on the OP. This is on the daily, but it went to a new low here. That means selling is coming in still, and price had held much higher. Couldn't even get below this low here at the 5,700 level. So that's impressive. This also could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading diagonal with an ABC down. That would mean we're ready to explode higher. So that would be an interesting count. And again, that's a distinct possibility. That would have been more. Some of these exchanges did go a little bit new high there, so that would have been 5 waves up, and the ABC down is already complete. And again, that would look more correctly with where our technometer is and where the divergence is that we had. So I still got stops at 58.20 and 59.50, I believe it is. I got too many numbers going around in my head. If that level gives out, then I would have to think we're coming down here to the 5200 level. Back here, break the 5600 level, maybe come down to 5200. So that's where I'm going to keep those stops there for now. We're long 50% Ethereum, 50% Litecoin. I raised those stops this morning. So still want to try to stay friendly here. But again, we've got the stock market. This is the Wyckoff wave. Let's go to, not everybody's following the Wyckoff wave as much as I do, or as much as my students and subscribers. So let's go to the, this is the Dow Jones DIA ETF. You can see we're at a 49 down here, which is as overbought technometer as we've had in a while. I think tomorrow maybe we can get a rush up, and then I want to see how that looks. I think if the Dow rallies early tomorrow, or the S&P, again, I don't have sells here. You'll see on the SPY 44 technometer, that's exactly neutral. It is breaking a downtrend, so I am impressed with the rally in the stocks, which we was telling people to accumulate. We do have some long positions. Never got a place to add on because I never got a good buy down here. This could have been a selling climax. This is an automatic rally. So at some point here, I would think that we'd slow up the rally, come back down and maybe test a 240, 235. But again, these are all guesses. Do your own research, etc. With the virus, anything could happen. My connects still say the virus is extremely bad in the areas I mentioned really 3 weeks ago. So I just don't know with all the stimulus packages, the virus is bad, as that knocks down much more in stocks. So, but again, I think a rally tomorrow, you've got a lot of shorts probably that have covered, and then maybe we could dwindle off. If stocks turn down, I guess I would think Bitcoin is not going to explode here. And that's why I want to take a little bit off just here 45 minutes ago, I guess it was. So again, we could just mouse here, I think still sideways. I just want to see more action in stocks tomorrow, tonight, and then decide what to do. So currently still got 50% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum, 50% Litecoin. The low at 3,800, I don't think we can get anywhere near there. I think a lot of Twitter, a lot of people say we're going to break that. They've been saying that. They said that, I think, a lot up here at 64 to 6,800. Last night started making them feel good. And then today, right back in their face. I had so many people want to know why I wasn't sure, why I was long. Stops wouldn't hold, etc. And you got to realize that we had stops down here. I forget now because that was when I was busy back home with family. They missed my stop by, I think, $80. We missed the stop here by $80. We missed the stop here, I think it was from 100. Last night we missed it by $40. So far, excellent stop placement. And Again, the technometer 37 would tell you we should be 100% long everything. I probably would be if it wasn't for the stock market volatility and the virus that is just too big of a question mark. Quickly on TLT on the stock side, wanted to be short there, missed it today. Technometer close to overbought but didn't get there. I was wanting a little bit more of that to happen. If stocks turned down, you would think bonds would stay firm. No guarantee of that. That's what kind of kept me watching here. GDX, I think I mentioned Thursday, get ready to sell. That was this day, and we just haven't had a rally. 47 on the technometer. Gold and silver, I think, is not the place to be setting. A lot of people want to do that trade. I said back here, this exact high opening, do not be buying gold and silver. We had some good trades previous to this. And now we've really had a fall through the ice or rally back to the ice. So that chart pattern is not good. So I think gold and silver is just dead money. Here's GDXJ. Same type of thing. We're 49 technometer. We was that up here on Thursday. That's why I mentioned it. We should have sold Thursday's opening. These charts do not look good, so I don't like precious metals. If TLT turns down, I think that puts a little bit of stress on crypto as well. Then we got the long dollar. I've said all along, the long dollar trades the opposite of the cryptos. This one's tough, huge volatility. If that was a jump and this is a pullback, which is what I've mentioned, because you can see OP goes to new lows, price isn't. We came down to somewhat oversold on the technometer. So I'm afraid the UUP rallies, which means the dollar rallies, which means that crypto again would have a little bit of stress on it. So let me put my link over here on the stock side real quick. Hold on one second. So again, if TLT turns down, UUP turns up, that puts a little bit of headwind, I think, on top of us on Bitcoin. So another reason maybe I'm a little cautious here. Let me go back, make sure there's no questions here. Caught everybody off guard, so not too many people in here at the moment. I'm guessing everybody will check it out later. What's up, Nate, Bamboo, Peter? Again, if anybody has any questions, let's look at Ethereum real quick. That chart, I mean, it looks like a triangle here. Again, I don't know where that fits in. It's been a pretty good sideways. I've been calling this 1-2s. This triangle could clear up there maybe. That could be a possible, again, with the technometer readings on Bitcoin. That could be a possible. I will say, obviously I know what like Elliott Wave is saying, but they were extremely bullish at the highs. Those guys, not quite sure what to think with their counts. They're going to be counting more things like this. So I've been watching this. Again, since Ethereum's been a little bit weaker, they were calling that This is a 3-4, and we're headed down for a 5 to new lows. And to do that, we're going to do that in 5 waves. So we've done a 1-2, we've done another 1-2. They count this as 5 waves down on everything. Coming into last night, they were pretty bearish. So, they wouldn't want 142, 144 taken out. But they're pretty bearish right here, right now. And again, that's their count. Not really mine. Again, because I'm so bullish on the Bitcoin technometer numbers and the divergence. Let's go back here. The OP on the daily, I showed you went to a new low compared to price. Let's break that down into the 5 minutes. What's up, Taj? Spiller. Here's the 5-minute Bitcoin USD just to show how the OP has continued into last night's lows. I wanted to lower stops last night, but it's hard for me to change stop levels. Most of our stops, I got stopped out of Ethereum at 170, which I hated for that to happen. We bought it back at 107. So you don't see me change stop levels very often. I'd rather somewhat get stopped out, try to clean my head, and then even re-enter higher if I have to. Most of the time we have been able to re-enter lower, which is a win-win. Again, here's Bitcoin USD 5-minute going back about a month. You're going to see the OP in a downtrend, steep. So there you can see from the low back at 3,800 that we almost went to a new low on the OP, while prices continue to make higher lows. So that's impressive. And then even this low here, you can see the OP is much lower, and price held that low. So I think that was pretty impressive last night, which is what gave us this rally today. Because a bunch of selling, really a bunch of selling from the OP from this high here. So again, that's why that could have been a wave 4. Could have been, again, this rally up to this high, and this could have been the diagonal triangle. So that was overlapping 5 waves up to the high, and then this is an ABC down. So again, on Elliott wave, 1, 2. Again, everybody knows here I own Wyckoff, SMI.com, so I really 95% Wyckoff, but I do like to throw a little bit Elliott wave on the cryptos. You won't see me do it on the stocks. Naveen, let me give you a wrench. So this type of count would be hugely bullish. That means we've done a 1-2, we're going to explode higher. For that to happen, you would think stocks would have to explode. You would think we'd have to go risk on for stocks. I can't imagine that would happen with the virus news. So, maybe we've done ABC down. This is going to be an X, and we're coming down to do another ABC later, while stocks go back down and test, not near the low that we made on the stocks, but go back down and test something. So on Naveen, on option recommendations, I wouldn't have them right now. Again, I do think stocks will roll over maybe if we work higher tomorrow, the next day, but that is not a sell yet. I do think TLT is still going to turn down, and also the metals. So I just don't have any low risk trades at the moment. So I've been a little bit quiet on the stock Discord because of that. We still have some positions, telephone, keys, Twitter. So we're definitely still holding some of those. I still have CGC. I still have some GE. So there's Bitcoin back down to 6,500. Let's look at Litecoin. Really, same type of action as Ethereum. The bullish count still would be that 1, 2, 3. That even looks more like the triangle's done. So we're headed up to, let's just say 46, 47, 48. We did raise stops this morning to just above last night's low. So that's kind of my estimate on Ethereum and Litecoin, that we're headed higher still. Bitcoin 6,500. Well, I just made it 6,570. Let's zero in on the 3-minute. 6,600 to 6,480. So far, I'm kind of right on some resistance here. And again, if let's go out to the 15-minute. Let's look at the hour here. Let me see if I got it. And I do have, I did show some bearish counts on the Discord. Let me see. We probably should talk about those. I just mentioned Elliott Wave. This is kind of their count. So we've done a 1, 2, another 1, 2. Or you could say this was a high, and we've done a 1, 2. So we're headed down below 3,800. They're extremely bearish here. With my technometer where it was, I didn't agree with that last night. I still don't agree with it. But now at 50, if this low gives away from last night, I think we're in trouble. Whether that's a 5,200 or whether it's, down below 3,800. I'm not in the camp of saying that. So I don't want to be in that camp. For that to happen, I think virus news would have to be horrible. Stocks would have to collapse again. And then that could be the case. But that's why I lined up a little bit here. Really, I lined up more because I'm worried about virus news and just for money management. And that's why we're only 50% long Ethereum and Litecoin, because if we start breaking down here, I want stopped out. I want to be heavy in cash as we break down again. I think it'd be another, quick bloodbath. And then I still think looking out a few years, we're still going a lot higher. So. There's a count that I mentioned on Discord. So you've had kind of an ABC down. This could be an ABC up, an ABC down. And then like I just showed you, a little ABC up, and now we're going to do an ABC down, maybe down to, let's just say, 6150. If we do a 6150, 6200, then come back up here to 66, that'd be extremely bullish. And maybe we'll jump on that with more Bitcoin longs and more Ethereum and Litecoin. Then we'd buy with stops behind us. So I'm going to try to stay nimble here. Again, with the virus news, I think we got to try to trade a little bit more. I don't want to get chopped up with stops. I want to continue to try to take profits. So that is all I got. No one's really asking no questions. So unless anybody's got a quick question here for me, I'm going to skate out. So let me know. Anybody? And then we'll be posting this on the channels if anybody wanted to check it out later tonight, tomorrow when they have some free time. Otherwise, everybody be safe, and we'll be live the next few days. Later.